Hey everybody. Keith McGinnis here with KCDC Designs out of Eagle, Nebraska. This is a bathroom vanity for a customer, and I made this out of 3/4 MDF. I put 2 coats of Stone Coat white undercoat paint, sanded that with 220, and over the top of that I could have just applied a clear coat of Stone Coat's Art Coat, but instead what I did was I added some white metallic and also some it's a pearl gold or a ghost gold, and man, about an hour and a half to 2 hours after the pour, I went over with a bag, and what it did was it woke up the metallics and basically stood those up into small peaks. So it might be a little bit difficult to see in the video, but if you look close, by waiting that hour and a half to 2 hours when the epoxy is really sticky, by bagging it, it really stands up those metallics, and up close you can really see the blue pearl and also the white metallic. And why this is important is because of the areas I'm going to leave white and not have that color technique in those areas. So it's been 24 hours, a little bit more, and so now I'm going to apply the technique. So we're just going to start off with getting some alcohol on the board. And putting the clear alcohol down first, that's what kind of gives you that lube, so to speak, so your alcohol dies, you'll be able to move those around. So let's start off with, Caribbean Sea is what that is. And there's many different ways you can lay your colors out. Here I'm kind of putting them out in lines, but I can also put them out in circles as I want. So you just have to find out what works good for you and what you like. So when you're using the hairdryer, you can blow those colors around in different directions. You can blow from left to right, or you can blow down directly from the top. I like to blow down directly from the top. I feel that I like the way that it moves the colors around, and I like the way that it creates the design. If I lay those colors out and I'm blowing it from left to right, I'm going to keep those colors in a linear fashion, and that looks really cool too. And that's the way Clara Lawrence does it. And the thing is, I guess I never paid attention to how she was blowing it, so I just started blowing it from the top. But I really like the effect, and I really like the way it turns out. There's going to be other designs where I will blow it from the side and keep it more of linear colors. But personally, I really like the way this turns out. So right now I'm just adding different colors and kind of layering those colors in so I can get them, kind of how I want them. And in this area here, I'm using a little bit lighter colors. I'm putting a little bit of brown in there. And the reason I'm doing that is because of the sink the customer's going to have. And then also there's just a little bit of brown in this customer's bathroom, and I want to be able to tie those colors in. So that's all I'm doing now, is just kind of adding in the colors and moving them around where I want them. See, and I don't know if I'm going to have to wipe that off because those streaks are still there. And I don't like it. I don't like it at all. So if you don't like it, wipe it off. And start over. And that's one of the really cool things about this technique is if you find an area you don't like, you can wipe it down, spray it, kind of give yourself a clean slate if you need to. I could wipe off the whole entire surface if I wanted to. So you saw where I wiped that area off. Now I'm just going to add some more color in, which actually adds a few more layers in there, and it's going to cover up everything that I just got through wiping off. So it really gives you the opportunity to do exactly the way you want it. And this area here that I'm working on, this is how it's going to look once it gets installed and in the customer's home. It really turned out nice. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. All right, so now, again, the sink's going to go about right here in the middle, so I want to get some right out in this area also. So I'm going to keep working the project and working the different areas and get the colors where I want them. And remember, I'm wanting to leave quite a few of the white areas there because the undertones look really cool. That gold is just amazing. See how I'm chasing some of that back in again? And if I need to chase it a little bit further. Now one thing I'll note is you want to keep an eye on your edges, because when the colors run down, they can run down kind of streakedly. And so what I do is I can take some alcohol, sorry the camera's not showing, and I just squeeze some alcohol along that front edge, and that allows that to just continue running. At the end of this video, you'll be able to see how nice those edges really turned out. I can tell right there that area is going to take a really, really long time to dry. And I know that I need to get a flood coat put on this tomorrow. And I can tell here some of my gold also moved around a little bit where I didn't want it. So what I'm referring to there is some of those heavy lines that you see, kind of like some outlines. That's where the dyes have kind of collected, and that takes a long time for those to dry. And I want to be able to get this piece sealed with the UV archival spray in the matte finish, or the spray paint, clear spray paint in the matte finish. And so what I'm doing is thinning some of those areas out so they're going to dry a lot quicker. If I stand back, I like it. So I'm going to stand back, because if I stand back, I like it. This gold line right here just was bothering me, and it was just a little bit too much. And since I'm not able to push that back in, I'm going to get a little bit of color in there. Yes, there is a point where you need to walk away, but with this technique, you can continue to work on it. I could come back the next day, and I could add something to it if I wanted to. Wow, I'm not going to do a whole lot. I'm just going to do some in this area here. That's it. Ooh, baby cakes. I like that. I need to get something down along this edge. This is where the toilet is. This is what they look at all the time. So I gotta have something there. So once again, here's where I'm paying attention to the edge, and this is what I'm doing to make sure I have a nice even flow of those dyes over that edge, so it has a really, really nice appearance. And you'll see that at the end of the video as well. All right, color test. We got a match. We've got a great match. I think that's it. The sink is going to go right here, and got plenty of white still showing, and edges look awesome. Okay, let's call it. So I'm going to let all that dry at least 24 hours, because some of those areas where those heavy lines are at, those take a really long time to dry. And once again, I've said it before, whatever you do, do not wipe this down. You want to blot it extremely carefully. Do not wipe it down. You will smear it. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts. All right. So I have sealed the surface down with 3 to 5 coats of the UV archival spray, or again, you can use Rust-Oleum clear matte spray paint to seal those colors down. Very, very light coats to seal it, and then I applied the flood coat. Look how that gold pops in there. That is the Color Obsession 007 gold, and it just absolutely looks amazing. See that in the glare? It looks really cool. I'm really, really happy with the way this piece turned out. The colors are great. There's my edges that I was referring to earlier. Really take some time on those edges and get them to look as good as you can get them to look. The colors turned out really well. I had a color swatch that I held up earlier, and that was from the paint from the customer's wall. That's what I wanted to match it to, and it matches really, really nicely. So now that you've seen this in my studio, let's take a look and see what it looks like in the customer's home with their lighting and with the rest of the surroundings. this is just freaking amazing. It just looked, once it was installed, customers were absolutely blown away. I was too. So that's got the ultimate top coat gloss finish on it. Now look down in there. That's where I bagged it. And those are those white areas where you can see the white metallic and the blue pearl in there also. But that gold really stands out. The colors match the sink. The colors match the wall. It's just really, really a fabulous piece. We're calling this a Claramarble design. Look at that gold. It's so cool. Because Clara Lawrence, with Clara Lawrence Art, is absolutely the master at using the alcohol dye technique. So, man, she gets all the credit for this. But hey, thanks everybody for watching. And once again, this is Keith McGinnis with KCDC Designs out of Eagle, Nebraska. And we'll see you on the next video.